So now it's in my best interest as the seller to make damn sure you're successful.
Right.
And make sure that you retain all these customers. Because the more you retain, the more money I get. And if the earn-out is structured properly, it can be a win-win for both parties. You keep the business as the buyer, and I, as the seller, I get all my money, or I could actually get more if we increase the business, if that earn-out is structured properly.
Yeah, this is a good market for considering acquiring business right now. Mostly because even if you have bank financing, you can say to a seller, I don't have it. You gotta take some paper. And a lot of businesses, as you know, and I say take paper, meaning that you have to hold a promissory note. You gotta help me out somehow. And right now, what I'm seeing a lot of activity is in the government contracting space. I had a client who has a $20 million government contracting business, and they are financing or basically selling a significant portion of their business. He's going to stay as a CEO. He's going to continue to run it, but he basically was able to take some money off the table in this environment and have cash and own less of the company by selling a significant portion of his business. And there is a good way to kind of put that you know, if you're doing mountain climbing, if we're all in the business of mountain climbing, and you put a stake as you climb, and selling a portion or a significant chunk of your business is a way to kind of say, okay, I want to take this off the table now so that I can have this in my pocket, and then I'll just continue to work in the business. So there's some very creative ways in which you can realize value in your business. Now, he's grown it, obviously, and he has government contracts, which is a very, right now, that's a very reliable payer, right? You don't have to question whether they're going to pay or not. Time, when they pay, is another question. But those are some very attractive business models. In terms of people looking to sell their business, I get this a lot, or to buy a business. They use this biz buy sell. And why don't you talk about, like, because I don't think a lot of people understand that there is a person like Art who really deals with buying and selling of businesses. They tend to resort to, you know, whatever they find online. But why don't you talk about the differences between like a biz buy sell and maybe some of the things you do, or whether you incorporate that into your practice?
Biz buy sell, and depending upon which part of the equation you are, whether you're the buyer or the seller. If you're the seller, a lot of sellers think, well, I can list it on biz buy sell. I'll do the same thing Art does. I'll just post it out there on the internet. The buyer will call me, and then I can handle it from there. It goes back to what David said. I think it's what your number 2. Outsource everything. If you get involved in selling your business, you're taking your eye off the ball. You're not going to run your business and grow your business. And what the buyer wants to see is a business that's going up, not a business that's stagnant or actually going down. So if you're taking your eye off the ball over here, you can't run your business the proper way. Plus, you don't have the expertise to sell your business. You have the expertise to be that plumber that David was talking about. I've got the expertise to sell your business. Okay, so it depends upon what you want to do. The other thing that we always see is when the seller and the buyer get together and start negotiating the price and the terms, 3 things can happen. Disaster. One would be success, where you actually close the deal, but 2 out of the 3 ain't good. Right. Okay, and the thing that really gets in the way is the ego. And the seller has an ego, the buyer has an ego. The seller wants as much money for their business as they can, and the buyer wants to get it as cheap as they can. So right away, you've got 2 different opposites trying to come together. And a lot of times, the buyer, who's not working with a broker, doesn't realize, okay, I want to buy this business, I want to get it as cheaply as I can, and I'm going to buy it from Eugene, and after I buy it, now I want Eugene to be my buddy and teach me everything about this business. So Eugene's asking $1 million for the business, and I'm the buyer, and I'm going to lowball. I'll give you $600 for it. You got this wrong, you got this wrong, you got this wrong. And if Eugene can hold it together to come back and renegotiate, he's still a little PO'd at the buyer, because he came in and just actually insulted him with his low offer. So you automatically, you create up this adversarial type relationship, that after closing, they're not gonna kiss and make up. Eugene's still gonna remember what a jerk this guy was. So one of the things that we do is we keep the buyer and the seller apart during the negotiations. Okay, not that I'm not gonna bring a $600,000 offer to Eugene, but Eugene can blow up at me, and I can explain to Eugene, look, this guy, it's nothing personal, it's nothing about the business. He's trying to get it as cheaply as he can. So now we've got 3 different alternatives that we can go with. We can either A, accept the offer, we can reject the offer, or we can counter.